Hello, Charles. Welcome to Hump Day.
That's right.
So Hump
Camel's
Day
favorite day.
means Churchill. Yeah, it's the camel's favorite day for sure, especially if they work for Geico because they probably get royalties.
They probably do.
So today is Hump Day. It means it's Churchill Downs Day. They're about to get cracking down there. Charles says it's a beautiful day in Kentucky, sunny, warm. So the dirt track, it's all they run on down there right now. Should be fast, should be firm, should get some great racing. Not a whole lot of scratches today, so that's a positive. But there is some pressure on you today, Charles.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, because
What's
the
the
last 2
pressure?
days, Terry and I both hit at the same. So on Monday, we both hit our hot dog pick fours, which paid up, I think, around $150, something like that. And then, no, it was like $65. And then yesterday, we both hit the prime rib pick four, which I paid, I think, $250 for both of us. So we're 2 for 2 so far this week. So you got to make it 3 for
Uh-oh.
3.
Here we go. Pressure's on me.
Hi, August. Thanks for joining us today. Hey, thank you. We appreciate that. If you haven't done so, August, but I'm sure you have, hit the subscribe button, tell your friends about us. And if you're like August and you like the show, you like the content, love the channel, please do us a favor. Tell your friends about us. Our goal really for 2023 is to get to 5,000 at least subscribers. So help us do that by letting other horse players know all about us. Speaking of our channel, last night, Sean and the what was Sean? Sean's wonderful. Sean gets such nice descriptive words from Jamie every single show. So I think I'm gonna have to start working with Jamie so she can build me up a little bit with the wonderful comments and the irreplaceable comments. Gotta love that. But they had a wonderful show last night with Bloodstock assistant editor and like all around jack of everything of the horse racing trade, Molly Rollins. If you haven't seen that show, you're going to want to go, stay here on Horse Racing Radar when we're done. Check out that show. Fantastic show. And they talked a little bit about a change in the news in Kentucky where you are, where they go to penny breakage now. And apparently you're talking about millions of dollars being returned back to horse players.
Yeah, I think they've rounded down to the penny, to the first penny.
Mm-hmm.
So they used to do it, but to the 10 cents. They
Mm.
did 10 cents. Now it's the penny. And I know it sounds like not much, but at the end of the day, it could be a lot more money, like you said.
They say millions of dollars. When you think about it, I remember reading about like scammers that worked in accountant like divisions where they just took the penny, like fractional pennies off of the company's balance sheet and deposited into like an offshore account. People made millions of dollars over their lifetime, and it takes forever to catch it. So, anything that they return more money back to the player, horse player. And in this case, it's 9 pennies saved, right? Which
That's
is
right.
9 pennies earned. All right. Tonight, provided Jamie can make it. If not, I will be the host tonight with Sean because Jamie lives in Florida. All of our folks in Florida that watch us, we wish you nothing but health and well-being and safety as the hurricane works its way through the Sunshine State. But tonight we'll have on Kyber Koa, son of Ibert Koa, a young man doing very well, just a couple of wins away from career win number 250. If you have any questions for him, make sure you tune in tonight. At 8 o'clock, it'll either be myself and Sean, and I won't have such compliments for Sean. I'll use different adjectives to describe him. Or Jamie and Sean, who will be nothing but polite and kind and smiling as always. So, all right, that takes care of some of the house cleaning for today. Now we're going to head off to Churchill Downs for a nice car. Nice card today. I deleted something I didn't want to delete, so I'm kind of scrambling to put it back up there. All right, so we're going to go today, Charles, Churchill Downs. It's a nice card today at Churchill Downs. A nice 9. Hold on one second. You're getting ahead of yourself there, my friend.
I know.
Race number 1 is 7 furlongs. It's a maiden claiming race for $75,000. Made a couple little changes to the way we're operating here. Yesterday, I didn't like the way things were so clunky with the pace for post position and first call position where horses win. So I just put this up there. I'm going to go back to the old fashioned way of doing the pace worksheet. So you can see so far at Churchill at 7 furlongs meet to date, they've run 16 races. The average odds of the winner were 4-1. So the median odds were 7-2. So a pretty tight window there of horses. It looks like you probably want to look in that 5-2 to 5-1 range. The post position ones won 12.5%. For some reason, the 3 horse has just been killing it down there. And you can see at the first call, the first 2 horses that were either first at the first call or second at the first call have combined to win over 50% of the races. So a little bit of a speed bias to get started. And if we look at race number 1, in terms of what the pace looks like, there really isn't a true speed horse in here because I don't have an E horse. I don't have an EP horse. I do have the 7 horse looking to me like it's the one that might be the pace setter. It is going to be the pace setter, has a plus at 2 furlongs and 4 furlongs, meaning the way I measure early pace should be maybe as much as 2 lengths ahead of everybody else at the quarter-mile marker and the half-mile marker. And the down arrow designates horses that are dropping in class. Over here, you see we have a bunch of first-time starters. Now, I know you were eager to use the new system there, Charles, so let it rip, my friend.
Yeah, well, I'm going to put the where you have 0% for the 7 getting the first call. Today will be the day that the 7 will get its first call.
Lucky 7, baby.
Yes, it drops in class today. Mm-hmm. He definitely has speed. He can go to the front, which now there's no one that really wants the front, so I believe he'll take it. Excuse me. And he cuts back in distance today. His jockey has been really hot in the last 7 days. The trainer gets 35% going from a straight maiden to a maiden claimer. Plus he gets 31% on first time claiming. So there's a little bit of an angle there with the trainer aspect of it.
I would call those alpha angles. Those are angles where the trainer wins at a higher rate than he normally wins at, or she normally wins at.
Exactly. So my second pick is going to be the 3. The 3 finished third last at Churchill Downs 3 times, 3 races back. The trainer gets 28% from a straight maiden to a maiden claiming, which is another great percentage again. And this trainer always gets them ready. So I see this horse ready to rock and roll when the time comes.
When the gates open, he'll be gone.
Gone. Mm-hmm. And then my third pick of this race will be the 2. Gets blinkers today. Trainer clicks at it right around 17%. And I personally like the breeding of this horse. I think it's pretty well balanced and it should show a little something there at the end. My final pick of the race is going to be the 6. And the dam of this horse has had 3 winners from 4 starters. And that's a very good percentage there. Has solid work tabs. So, not much more to go off of other than saying I think he's going to pick up a piece of the pie on this race.
Yeah, he's going to collect some of the gimmick money, eh? I agree with you. The 7's going to go. The O is going to go today with the 7. Please be kind. That's going to be one of my 3 things at the end of the show. Please be kind. I didn't think about that, but has as we mentioned in the pace worksheet, should have an early race advantage through the first half mile. Speed, as you saw when we put up the pace worksheet there, has won 50% if you're in the first or second slot at the first call. I think this one has also the top last race speed figure, and as you mentioned, is dropping in class. I love that combination, top last race speed figure, moving in class, and you mentioned the trainer's angle at dropping from the maiden special weight to maiden claiming, one of the biggest drops in all of horse racing. Number 3, Somebody Loves Me. I think you're in my computer just like Terry was yesterday. This one has a double plus late pace advantage. So we'll be coming on at the end. If it's within maybe 2 lengths with a 16th to go, has enough late legs to maybe close that gap, get to the winner's circle, and has the top early pace, late pace advantage versus the experienced horses. First-time starters, we have no idea what they're going to bring to the table. So we're going to go to some first-time starters here with number 5. Little Sister Sue has a bullet and go. As I've mentioned many, many, many times, a book, if you haven't gotten it, head on over to Amazon. I don't get a penny for it. It's called Barry Meadows, Skeptical Handicapper. Tons of statistics in there. And one of them you'll see is horses that put out a bullet workout before their maiden run. They win at above 15%. I call anything above 15% or higher an alpha angle. Someday I'll explain why when we have a little more time. Number 6, Braganza. I don't know if I got that right or not, but that's how it's pronounced today. This is a first-time starter, just like you have it in the 4 spot, with some really nice workout on September 23rd. And I'm also liking the July 23rd workout as well. So maybe the horse should run on October the 23rd.
Yeah, there you go.
Streak alive, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm all about patterns, Charles. Absolutely. Race number 2 is 1 1/16 miles. It is a claiming $50,000, non-winners of 2 lifetime. Let's take a quick look at race number 2 in terms of what a 1 1/16 looks like on the dirt. They've done it 17 times so far. In that, the average odds for the winner are 5.5 to 1. Usually I round up or round down, but it was right on 5.5 to 1. And I know you can't get 5.5 to 1 at the track. So it'll be somewhere between 5 to 1 and 6 to 1. The median odds, meaning where there's an equal number above and a number below winners, were 3 to 1. So again, maybe some value available here. One of the interesting things I see here is a big red spot right here in post position 1. Has as many wins as you and I do, Charles.
That's right.
Not many. And it looks to me like the pace setup here is tactical speed, not necessarily front end speed. Kind of sit off the lead, be patient, make your move, and find yourself a nice fat winner's check. Race number 2, in terms of our profile, our pace profile, and just to kind of give you an idea where this comes from me, what I look for is the race shape the horse needed to win before. Not how it looks on paper like it's trying to show speed now, but how it's actually found its way to the winner's circle. We have our first scratch of the day here, Charles, on a pretty scratch-free card. The 1 horse gets knocked out. Our 4 horse becomes the first left arrow horse of the day. This is a pressure horse, but does have enough early pace to probably be maybe your pace setter. I don't know necessarily based upon what we just saw that that's what we want. Also possesses some nice late pace, is the second best in the group. And if you put together early pace and late pace, has the top combination. If you're looking for a horse that's going to be charging at the end, it is going to be the 1A. All right, Charles, take us through your picks now, my friend.
Yeah, like you said, who's really going to probably go to the lead? And I do believe it's going to be the 4. I think the 4 does have tactical speed, like you said. So in case someone else wants to go out there and do it, you probably will let them do it. But has a hot jock in the last 7 days. Trainer gets 20% when the trainer goes from turf to dirt. Remember, there's no turf here at Churchill Downs for the rest of the year. And then he got claimed last time out. And the trainer is 19% after the claim. So that's another not a pretty good percentage after the claim.
Mm-hmm.
So my second pick is the 5. The 5 is the first time gelding. He adds the blinkers today.
He's going to run angry, huh?
Very angry. He's been angry for a little bit now.
Yes, and well, you own horses. Do they get pissed off after they get that treatment or what?
Well, yeah. I mean, when the numbing sensation goes away, yeah, they're a little pissed off because it kind of hurts.
I can't imagine.
And
I don't want to know either.
And they're sore for sure a couple of weeks. Ugh. So you have to be very kind to them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's not the funnest thing for them, but it does make them focus, because usually why they do this because a colt is little, butterflies and squirrels type of thing, situations. So
it's got a little love up in the air there. I get it.
That's right. Mm-hmm. So the trainer is 19% when first time in claiming also on that horse. So I think the horse has got a shot there. My third pick is the 2. Boy, I like those 2s in the third spot, don't I, today?
Yes, you do.
Should be closing at the end, fits well with these horses. And then my final pick, which will be the 1A, and because he will be closing.
All right. So you like the 1A in that spot, huh?
Yes, I do.
All right. So I think I'm actually going to start with the 1. I'm going to make a couple quick adjustments here so that everything matches. I programmed a lot of stuff so the colors just fit right in. But unfortunately, 1A I haven't done yet, and 2B I got to learn. I got to go back and redo that, because when I did it the first time, it wasn't a consideration. And then so out of sight, out of mind, I guess is how that works, right?
True.
So for me in race number 2, I'm going to start with the 1A as my top choice, because it does have the top late pace figure in this group. I think this one's going to be a lot better in terms of its third start off of the bench. And it is in the field in terms of, if you just look at its performance, it has been one of the top most consistent performers. I know I'm going to get a good race out of the 1A here. Number 5, Keep Calm, Carry On. Did run the top last race speed figure, and it was at Churchill Downs. Has 25 furlongs of workout since that race. So you know the horse is going to be fit, firm, and ready to go. And as you mentioned, boy, he's going to be angry. First time Calden. Number 4 is my third choice, your top choice, which is Icarus. First off, the claim for trainer Tom Amos is a 19% winning angle. Again, one of those alpha angles for me. Some better fractions in its last race, so I'm expecting to see more improvement today in the second start off a layoff. And if you look at its Churchill Downs works, they're pretty decent for its first try at the Kentucky track. And if Mike Smith was a guest on our show on Horse Center, you can go look all of those up, search for it in YouTube. And he told us pay really close attention to horses, how they train at Churchill Downs for their first run. It's kind of awkward surface. He said a little peanut buttery is how he described it. He said horses that tend to train well at Churchill tend to race well at Churchill. Now, if I can only take that and as a golfers that play well on the range and take it to the course, it would be a complete thing for me. And then finally, I agree with you. The 6 horse is my final choice. Number 4, Deep State, drops in class. We know the distance isn't an issue because it's run 2 times, has a second and a third. Brian Lynch is running this horse out after claiming it last time out. 25% winner for Mr. Lynch. The lone Churchill Downs race was okay. The works are just okay too. So, going back to Mike Smith, okay works, okay runs at Churchill Downs, probably an okay race. And that's why I have it 4th. Race 3 is a 1 mile. This one's a maiden for $92,000. So a pretty good maiden special weight race right here. At race number 3, if we look at 1 mile in terms of what they post position and first call position biases, again, we find, look, the rail so far has no wins like you and me, Charles. We're just as winning as the rail. The 4 horses kind of struggle too. There's only been 14 races, so maybe a couple of them, maybe there hasn't been a good horse in the 1 spot or one of the better horses in the 4 spot. We do find that it looks to me like, again, if you're going to be fast, you kind of want tactical speed, maybe not necessarily burning speed. Otherwise, it looks to me like this is really a race that favors closers because you see horses that were 7th, and that's how many horses are in this field. So I only went out that far, have won 35, 36% of the races so far. So it looks to me like this is a closers race, Charles. And in race number 3, we look over here. One of the closers, which was also going to be a left arrow horse, was the 4 horse. I think probably was going to be the dominant horse in here. That means the 7 horse, the 2 horse now becomes a left arrow horse. It has now has the best early pace, late pace combination. The 1 horse becomes the closer in this bunch, does have the top late pace. That's what this LP1 means. The 3 is LP2, so probably going to be your pressure horse. I think the 2 is probably going to go close to the front. I have no idea what to expect from the 7 because its debut run was just a mess. So maybe that horse shows us something it hasn't yet. Let's go ahead, Charles, and make our picks for race number 3.
The 4, I think it was going to be the dominant one in this race, but he's scratched. So my number 1 pick is the 3. On this horse, Kenneth McPeak gets right around 17% win percentage, but he goes up to 20% from turf to dirt. This horse drops in class today. Hot Jockey has tactical speed, so he might even be the front runner. So overall, and then like you said, the 2 I definitely like now closing.
You definitely like those 2. Speaking of which, August says in the last race he agrees with you. He likes the 2 as well. That's his long shot play of the day. Long shot play of the day. English, Richard. He thinks the 2 can do well with the class relief, and that's in race number 2. So 2s across the board for August in race number 2.
Well, I agree there. The horse does have a shot there, and it's a nice long shot to go after. But the 2 in this race is my second pick, and she loved this distance. He's by Middleton out of a Tapit mare. The question is I have a hard time believing Dallas Stewart, his win percentage is as low as it is. He's a much better trainer than his numbers say, I believe. So on this one, I'm not going to even look at those percentages on. And my third pick will be the 1, Ran well last time, first time out, I should say. Um, only got beaten by 4.5 lengths total, so the trainer gets 17% of the time a win. So
Mm,
that's not bad for this horse. And then the questionable horse, the seven.
that's it.
The seven trainer gets 29% second time out, so that's a very high percentage. You're right; he didn't do much on the first time out, but that's how it goes sometimes with some of these horses. And Garcia is back up on the horse, so that's a confidence booster after that bad race.
Yeah, I just didn't really know what to make of that. So for me, I'm going to go with the 2 horse in here. So I am jumping on the 2 train finally. It's taken a while for me to get there. For some reason, I don't know why the 2s never populate the color sometimes. Wicked Street is, as I mentioned, a left arrow horse. Julien Leparot, who was also a guest on the Horse Center. You want to make sure you check that out. I think it was actually on the Player's Edge podcast. I think what's interesting to me about Julien here is he rode both the 1 and the 2. And he sticks with the 2 horse, and he's having a really good Churchill meet. So I think he wants to keep the winning rolling. He's made his pick, so we'll trust Julian's judgment here. Number 1, Princely. That's you. You're Princely, Charles.
That's right.
This one was way back at the start of its last race, and then made a really strong rally. Didn't really factor into the gimmicks or anything at the end, but I think the horse can get off to a little bit better start today. You're likely to see it move forward and use that late kick to actually cash a check. Number 3, Let Me Love You. Better fraction in that last race, which was at Kentucky Downs on that awkward track, up and down and around, uphill, downhill, undulations, weird turns, and all that sort of stuff. So I think it might find, if Churchill is odd, I mean, Kentucky Downs is completely odd. So that horse might like odd tracks. So I expect more out of Let Me Love You today. And then finally, number 5 is my 4th choice in race number 3, Overly Dioro. Second start was very good at Churchill Downs. Better 2 and 4 furlong pace numbers in that last race, but it's coming, I think, from Belterra. And I'm not the biggest fan of track risers. I don't know about you, especially if they come. It's like one thing you go from maybe like a Indiana Grand to Churchill Downs, but Belterra is, I think, even one cut below that. But in a race where it doesn't look like there's a prohibitive favorite, not at crazy pace that favors or disfavors any particular horse, maybe has a shot. Race 4, this one is a 6 furlong race claiming $20,000, non-winners of 2 lifetime for a purse of $50,000. We take a quick look here at what 6 furlong winners look like at Churchill Downs so far anyway. There have been 34 races. The average odds for the winner is 6-1, so maybe 6 furlongs is a good place to find some value. The median odds are 4-1, so it tells me 6 furlong races are kind of fair and opens up the door for price players to find good picks. You don't really see much of for some odd reason, the 5 horse has done exceptionally well. The 9 horse hasn't won yet, 6, 7. So it looks to me like you probably want to have an inside 5 post, maybe the 8. I don't know. But looking here at the pace setup, the first call, only 6% of the horses were on the lead at the quarter-mile marker. This definitely looks like a tactical speed race to me because 2, 3, 4, and 5 have collected the lion's shares of wins. So maybe not the guy on the front, but the ones that are right off of it and making that real nice move coming out of the turn. I expect that's what you'll see probably win this race. In race number 4, we have a almost symmetrical race here. You see there's plenty of early pace over here because you can see there are 4 horses that need the lead, or so far in their career have pretty much needed the lead to win. The 1 horse is a left arrow horse. He's a closer, but his early pace figures are going to put him up in here. The 2 horse looks like it has the best early pace figure. So maybe you're going to see a 2-1 out of the gate at the quarter-mile marker. And then all of these guys giving chase. If the 9 horse can hang in, does have some pretty good late pace numbers and has a plus advantage when you combine early pace and late pace. So should be competitive from the beginning of the race to the end of the race. And if they all go too fast, the 5 horse has the most late pace. It'll be the one that tries to run by them at the end. Charles, this is my long shot. But before we get to my long shot, take us through your picks.
Okay. Well, this is an interesting race. I'm going to go with on your original chart there that has 0 wins from this post position. That
You're
would be
liking
the
the
nine.
challenge those today with the 7, and now you're just a
Yes,
glutton, aren't you?
I'm going for it.
You are a bias buster. I think we're going to have to
That's
make a
right.
T-shirt with your face on it that says bias buster.
Well, today some of this, the data is just saying that today's the day. The
Gambler's
trainer gets,
fallacy.
the trainer gets 16% win, but he gets 21% first time into the claiming ranks. The horse, like you said, has speed, but also can sit right off of them and has tactical speed. He goes back to dirt, and once again, once in a while, I have one of these. I believe this could also be a good claim because he has a lot of conditions still left in him. So I think that horse is definitely one to beat. But I also agree that the 5 will be coming late. He drops in class. Trainer gets 25% with blinkers. So he puts the blinkers back on. And he's, like you said, he's a closer on this. My third pick is the 1. I love that he's going to cut back in distance today. I love that move. The trainer gets 30% from turf to dirt and has some tactical speed, like you said earlier in the show here. And then my final pick is the 6. Nope, no 2 in there. Sorry. Today
Oh,
it's
breaking the streak.
I'm breaking the streak there. So the 6, he was claimed last time out. He has to move up in class, but I'm not going to fault him for that. Trainer gets 34% after a claim, so you kind of have to watch it a little bit on this horse.
All right. So, as I mentioned in race number 4, this one's going to be my long shot of the day. So, I'm going to start off race number 4 with number 8. That is Jesuit. And this horse has run at Churchill Downs twice, has a win and a second. So, a horse that does like the course, does have some decent workouts getting prepped for this race. Again, flashback to Mike Smith. Horses that run well at Churchill, train well at Churchill, tend to do well at Churchill. So I'm hoping the 8 horse, my long shot, can make a long shot winner of me 2 days in a row. Yesterday, my long shot, I think it was a 6 horse, beat a 4 horse. I think race number 2. Yeah, race number 2 at Parks and paid $16. I'm hoping to repeat that performance today. Number 1, Atros. Don't you feel like this horse should be trained by Rob Atros?
Yeah, probably
out
should.
in New York. I mean, if a horse named that, it should be his horse, damn it, by law. Anyway, this one is a left arrow horse, as we mentioned in the pace worksheet there. It is flipping from turf to dirt. Brad Cox does that, and he wins at 30% of the time. So even for a high win rate trainer like Brad Cox, that's an alpha angle for him. I think this one's likely to move forward in race 2 off the break. My only concern is it has run on the Churchill main track twice. Doesn't have anything to show for it yet. Number 9, maybe going to break that 0 like you want it to do. This one, his name is Trainer Please, so maybe you can fill in for that role, Charles.
Well, trainer, please. I wonder what the owners were trying to think there. Like, please give me a win or whatever, something
Or
like
something,
that.
yeah, like don't blame the trainer. Trainer
Always
gets too
blame
much
the
credit,
trainer.
something like that. But it does have the best combination of early pace and late pace, so it should be competitive from beginning to end. Flashed some speed way back in the day, all the way out on the West Coast at Santa Anita. Has some pretty good Keeneland work, so maybe like some of that Kentucky dirt as it gets ready. It's going to try dirt again for the first time in its last 8 races where it ran on turf. So we'll see if it can take to that. And then finally, number 6, Frisco Line. Your 4th pick is my 4th pick today as well. First off the claim for trainer Brittany Vandenberg, who I think is an underrated trader. I mean, you look at her numbers, they're off the charts everywhere.
They're very good.
Mm-hmm. She hits at 34% off the first time claim. That's a big number. I'm not a big fan of horses that come out of a maiden claiming race. I think this one won its maiden in like 4th or 5th try, something like that, for $10,000. So real cheap race. You can't ignore that first off the claim number. And it has a bullet workout before heading to the track today. So that's got a bullet and go. So I say let's let it rip with Brittany today. So I want to say, August, thank you for putting your picks in race number 3. August likes the 2, the 3, the 5, and the 6. And if you're like August, this is a community. We're open to everybody's picks, everybody's thoughts, everybody's angles, everybody's suggestions. So we're all trying to figure out how to get better at this game. It's something I try to do every single day. we're all trying to find more winners too, so we can fatten up our bankrolls and take advantage of that penny breakage in Kentucky now. For race number 4, August is looking at the 4, the 3, the 9, and the 8. So neither one of us have the 4 or the 3. So August, I hope you win, but not this one. You got to be honest, right? I mean, authenticity is, if you fake it, people can tell right away. So Charles and I have the battle of the best bet versus long shot here in race number 5. The good news is the last time Charles and I went best bet long shot in the same race, they finished 1-2. So maybe a little best bet long shot exact the business here. And looking at the way the race is going to play out, you have a long shot, a best bet, and then a best bet. So maybe we go long shot, best bet in a pick 3 from races 4, 5, and 6 could make for some nice numbers. 7.5 furlongs, which is kind of a weird distance at Churchill Downs. They haven't run any races at 7.5 furlongs. Have you seen a 7.5 furlong race there before, Charles?
No, I have not. And so I'm going to break that stat of zeros from winning in that post. I'm going to tell you that.
I mean, there's not been a race at 7.5.
I know that's the point of it.
Yeah, so they're all zeros. Well,
they're
I think
all zeros.
One.
We're going to break it today.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, so far there hasn't been any races, and I don't ever remember seeing a 7.5 furlong race at Churchill Downs. Not one. So race number 5, as we take a look at the pace worksheet, what we have here, which we haven't seen too many times yet today, we see a ton of early pace in here. Every single horse in this race, Charles, could go to the lead or sit right off the lead. The 3, the 5, and the 6 have only won recently from the front. So whichever one doesn't get the lead, or if all 3 of them don't get the lead, they could get discouraged. Based upon the pace numbers that I've created, it looks to me like the 1 horse and the 7 horse are the ones that are going to really get up into the front and make everybody work to come get them. They also have the best combination of early pace and late pace, so they should be in contention to the end. But over here, we see a horse that does have some late pace, the 2 horse, and he is the lone closer. So all these guys go way too fast. They ramp up the RPMs. That's some beautiful handwriting right there. It looks like my 5th grade handwriting. Not much different than my handwriting today. The 2 horse could run by him at the end, Charles. I think this is a pace setup that could work to the 2's advantage. Do you think so too? Because you're all over the 2's today.
Yeah, well, I am, and I was very close to picking the 2, but I thought there was going to be too many horses for him to go through, basically. So I'm going to pick one of the horses that has tactical speed that could actually sit off if he wants. That's the 7. He has tactical speed. He's going for the hat trick. The trainer gets 22%. Jockey, to me, is a total upgrade. And she does move up in class, but I think that's all fine with this. And my second pick, can you tell me which it's going to be? Yeah, it's going to be the 2.
The 2. Back to the 2's.
Back to the 2's. We'll be closing, like you said. I just, with all this up there in front of her, I'm kind of worried that there's going to be a lot of maneuvering. Plus, Lucas claims this horse back, and for himself too, as the owner. So he fits well with these horses. My third pick is going to be the 6. Kind of like the 6 today too, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, all over the 6s, but not as much as the 2's. The 2's
I know.
If the 2's do well, Charles does well today.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
The 6, like we said, obviously has speed, cutting back in distance. Trainer gets 19%, but it has been off 90+ days. Has a solid workout tab for that return. And then my final pick is the 3. That 3 is not going in.
I'll take care of it. Just go ahead.
All right. So anyway, the 3 is my final pick, and half speed. Trainer gets a 19% when they're at 45+ days off, and likes this distance because why I say it likes this distance is it does very well at miles and does very well at 7 furlongs. So why not 7.5?
Splitting the difference, right?
That's right.
Yeah, that could well be. So this is my best bet. So it is the battle of the best bet versus the long shot for Charles and Rich. Again, last time around, it ended up coming together for an exacta. So you don't even have my pick. So this kind of makes me a little worried. I have the 4 horse in here as my top choice. That is Absolute Love. It seems like love is a theme today with some of the horses that we've picked. This one's had 5 consecutive speed figure increases in a row. The last 2 times it ran at Churchill Downs absolutely destroyed the competition. It's been off since June the 29th, so a little bit of time, a little R&R in the barn, but has 2 really sharp workouts on August the 28th and September the 4th. Has a pair of maintenance workouts after that, so clearly the trainer thought the horse was sharp, ready to go, just keeping it fine-tuned, not overtraining. So I will see if the 4 can live up to that. And he's done pretty well at Churchill Downs. 16 races, 5 wins, 2 seconds, 4 thirds. And if you just look at the past performance at Churchill Downs, has by far the best Churchill Downs races in this group. Number 1, Awesome India is my next choice. Number 2, Indra. I got that wrong. First start with Safi Joseph Jr. Sean got a nice little interview up with him over Parks on the weekend. If you didn't catch that out, our Swiss Army Sean working a little bit of moonlighting for TVG, or is he moonlighting for us? I'm not quite sure.
I don't know which one that would be.
Well, this one's been TVG. Training at what's that?
It's TVG's moonlighting with.
That's right. He's moonlighting for TVG. Yeah. He's got a couple really good workouts for Mr. Safi Joseph. I always want to call him Joseph Safi. Those 2 first names kind of. He's got like his last name is first and his first name is last. Anyway, yeah. But at Saratoga, the horse put in some really good workouts, getting ready for this trip to Churchill Downs. Let's see if it translates, if it ships. Number 3, Enchanted Nile is my third choice. Has raced at Churchill Downs, did win that race, been in the money on the fast track, which we got today. As we started the show, Charles says it's beautiful down in bluegrass land. On the fast track, out 10 times, 3 wins, a second and 4 thirds. So you do the math, that's 80% of the time. And at the distance, 7 races, 3 wins, 2 a second and a third. So 5 out of 7 in the money there. I'm not going to do that math. Finally, number 2, Mo Hey Lady. I do have the 2 horses in here as well. It was a tough call for me over your long shot, the 7. But it is a lone closer in the field full of horses that want to giddy up and go. I think it's going to pick off a lot of horses late, maybe not necessarily win, but absolutely has a pretty good shot to be a gimmick horse. And as our friend Thomas likes to say, and Tom and I will be back on Thursday for Foreign Fridays, we're going to cover the Arc for Saturday in Paris, which is the biggest race, or one of them anyway, in Europe. Race number 5, not only is it a battle of best bets and long shots, but it's also our prime rib pick for us. We flipped them upside down today. We both did. My ticket's $96. My math is pretty awful at times. Actually, what it is my editing skills. I forgot to change it. So if the ones do well for me, Charles, I'm home free, baby.
Yeah, you are.
So you got a little bit of everything. You're looking for the 2s and maybe a 6 in yours. You're going to open up race 2 with 3 picks. And then you're going to, for me, race 3 gets the weak link. As I mentioned on Monday, Terry and I hit the hot dog pick 4, and that was at Finger Lakes. And man, I just missed Charles. I was so mad for missing the late pick 4, my prime rib. The 9 horse won that last leg at Finger Lakes. And it was when I was considering it, paid $3,500 for 50 cents, man.
Oh,
yeah. I wanted to scream. So here are our pick 4s, our prime rib pick 4s. In addition to race number 5, no, we don't have a race of death, so that's always a big positive, right?
That's right.
All right. So what's definitely not deadly is to head on over to the Picks with the Professor. He puts up his parlays of the day, but if you head over to his channel, he also has all of his Major League Baseball plays of the days. So it's free play of the days in baseball. 68 winners, 44 that came in second, up almost 19 units for a 13.4 ROI. He does not have his parlay of the day up just yet. So make sure you bookmark the link that's in the description here at YouTube. Also on Facebook, our Swiss Army Sean has it over there on Twitter and Instagram, somewhere else as well. If you haven't done so yet, please follow us. Hit the subscribe button while you're here. And hey, man, if we're hitting these $250 pick 4s, do us a huge favor. One great way to support the show, doesn't cost you anything other than going like this. If you like what you see, please like us on Facebook. Please give us a thumbs up on YouTube. It really, really, really means a lot to us and helps us move up the rankings, which means more people will find the show, which is what we're kind of hoping to do. Right, Charles?
That's right.
All right, back to the races. Race number 6 is your best bet. It is a 7 furlong race claiming $50,000. This one has a purse of $75,000. We take a gander at what 7 furlongs looks like on the Churchill track so far. It's just what the post position and the track bias looks like in terms of first call. In race number 6, we'll find the first call looks to me to be the biggest advantage of all. If you're first or second at the quarter-mile marker, those two horses have combined for about, what, a 56 win percent? That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I'll take that all day long. In race number 6, we have our pace worksheet. I know there's one coming up where I haven't done anything yet because it was all mostly first-time starters. I think that's race number 7, yes. Again, we have a left arrow horse with the 2 horse. This one's usually a pressure closer. Just a quick recap on what these letters mean. E are horses that have had to get to the lead to win. EP horses are horses that can run on the lead or pressure. And how I define pressure is not necessarily like if it's first, second, third, or fourth. It's distance from the front runner. So I'm looking for anything that's under 2 furlongs. 2 lengths. Just 2 furlongs back. That would be the race.
Wow, that'd be a miracle.
Yes, indeed. So horses that are within 2 lengths of the leader at the quarter-mile marker. Pressure horse doesn't get to the lead to win, but has one where it's been within 2 lengths of the leader at the quarter-mile marker. Pressure closers, they can pressure so they can be within a length or so of the leader, or they close, but they don't usually get on the lead. But sometimes these horses are, these two, the EPs, and I think even more so the PCs, are your most versatile horses. I've seen a lot of these PCs that can win a race on the lead. They can win it from last. They can win it from the middle. So when you're going through, look for those horses that have that versatility. And then you see here, the 5 horse catches a plus late pace figure. So that means he can pressure. If he's close up, he's got a lot of late legs to get there. As far as when the gates open, it looks to me like the 1 horse does have a plus advantage at 2 and 4 furlongs. So likely to be either in that pilot or co-pilot seat that's collected about 60% of the wins. Charles, do you think that 1 horse is going to be a part of your best bets?
No, it's not in my top 4.
Ooh, horrible.
So my best bet of the day is going to be the 5.
Ooh, number 5. It's not the 2? Something wrong with
Not
you?
Not the 2. Sorry. But the 5 here. Why the 5? Well, he has everything like you just finished saying. He has speed. He could sit off. He could close. He could do pretty much anything he wants to do. And in this type of race, that's going to be very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So he's looking for the hat trick. He's got solid works. I mean, everything says he's ready today. So my second pick will be the 4 horse. He likes the dirt much better than the turf. Steve Asmussen gets 23% when he runs them from a route to a sprint, and he drops the horse in class. He ran last time out at Kentucky Downs, and as we have mentioned, we all know you must forgive that race if they do not run well.
Yeah, that track.
That whole track, you just got to toss it out. Don't worry about it. But I still don't think he's going to catch the 5. The 3 horse is my third pick. And why I like this one is that Cox gets 28% with first-time claimers. Horse does much better, or will like the dirt much better. Santana is back on this horse, and it definitely has some speed. I think the 3 and the 1 are going to go at each other, and I think the 3 at least will hang on for a piece of the pie.
Mm-hmm.
And my final pick in this race is the 7. And the 7 horse is definitely a closer, fits well here, and it's Tango Charlie. I had to pick this horse.
Yes, you have to. Tango Charlie. You cannot have CT. You can't. Now you're CT money. So now so we're going to call you Charlie Tango Money or something like that. Tango Money. That's going to be your nickname. I'm going to start with you, the 5 horse, Our Nation Parade, as my top choice too. So your best bet has a good shot according to my analysis. Did run the top last race speed figure and has a pair of strong works in between races. I like to see that one, including a bullet before it's going to head out to the track. And I think this horse is giving every indication that it'll remain sharp today. Number 3, Supremacy, does have some strong Churchill Downs number. First time around the track, off the claim for trainer Brad Cox, which is a 28% winner. I don't know how many Brad goes out in claims, but I can only imagine they have a pretty good team and they make sure they get good horses. Number 2, there's your 2 horse that you didn't have here. Wayakin dropping in class. Last 3 at Churchill Downs, 2 huge wins, and a second by just 3/4 of a length. So a horse that clearly is liking the track right now. I think this one's likely to take a step forward in round 2 off the bench. And then finally, this was a real tough call for me between the 6 and that one horse, the one horse with that early pace. I'm going to go with Outlier instead. It's an all or nothing horse at Churchill Downs. So it really is a flip of a coin between the twos. Run at the Louisville track 5 times, won 3 of them, nothing else to show for in the other 2 races, and has been training really well at the Churchill Downs training track. And last night they talked a little bit about training tracks on the show with Jamie and Sean and Molly. And she had mentioned that she really likes the training tracks better than working at the regular track. It's less stressful for the horse, she said. It's also a better environment for the folks who are working there because there's not as much like hustle and bustle, I guess, as you have at the regular track. So you want to make sure, if you kind of always wondered about that, it's a topic that I actually covered, one I've always had some thoughts about too. So it's something you might want to listen to again while you're here at Horse Racing Radar TV. Race number 7, lucky number 7. So hopefully Charles gets back to his 2 horses here. Race 7 is 6 furlongs. This one's a maiden claiming for $150,000. This is the one where we don't have a pace worksheet, Charles, but we do still have an idea of what winners look like at, we're in race number 7, right?
Yes.
Yes, race 7, 6 furlongs. We can see here that it looks again like tactical speed is the way to go because horses that were 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So right off the pace. So pressure horses and EP horses, probably what you're looking for there. It looks to me like there is a little bit of a maybe inside bias, the 1 or the 2, and then the 4 or the 5. So little horses that either get out of the gates early and from the inside post, or those that can stalk from post 4 and 5. Looks to me the way that you probably find the top of your ticket. How are you going to put these horses in what order in this maiden $150,000 affair?
Well, you got some got 150,000. Let's go and claim one.
Oh, you, my friend. August says in this race he likes the 5, the 7, the 10, and the 8. We appreciate those picks, and everybody else has to have some picks too. So hit us up with the comment section with what you like in these races today. I want to thank Philip Perkins, George Ditola. I'm sorry, George, if I messed that up, and Jimmy Little for giving us a thumbs up on Facebook. Unfortunately, the folks at YouTube don't tell us who give us thumbs up. What they do tell us is our rankings go up the more we get. So I'm really going to pound it today. Please hit the likes and please hit the thumbs up.
Yeah, please do.
All right, Charles, pound some more winners.
Yeah, well, August, I'm with you on this. I definitely like the 5 in this race as my first pick. The Thomas Amos gets 20% with these type of horses. Ran very good last time out. He ran 2nd, only lost by a neck. So basically, we're looking at a winner here in a non-winner race.
Mm-hmm.
Adds blinkers today. Could only give him a little bit more speed or at least focus. He had decent speed in that last race.
Won't be thinking about the butterflies and the squirrels.
That's right, because he doesn't want what happens after that. And then he's got a hot jock in the last 7 days. The jockeys they're doing very well. So I think it's all a good combination for a win there today. My second pick is the 1. Norm Casey gets 18% with these type of late, I should say. She has speed, has solid works. Remember, a lot of these horses are they're trying to figure it out. And I think he's one of the upcoming trainers that could do that with horses.
Mm-hmm.
The 7 horse is my next choice. Dam has 2 winners from 3 starters, which is a good little rate. Solid work tab. Trainer gets 18% with first timers. So that helps that horse a lot. And my final pick is the 6. With that one, solid works again, but this dam has 7 winners. One of them is a stakes winner out of 7 starters. The dam is hitting 100%. So this horse should have some kind of talent.
Should have talent for sure. So I see August likes the 5, the 7, the 10, and the 8. So you guys agree on 2. So for me in race number 7, I think we're going to agree on a couple here as well, August. I'm going to start with the 5 horse too. I guess that makes it 3 for 3. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we'll find out when they run. I like Camp Aquila as well. This is our Chris Parmalu angle. Chris says he absolutely loves in these maiden races when the horse finishes second in the race before, the next time out, or in this particular spot today, those horses come back to win at a huge percentage, according to Chris. He says it's his absolute favorite angle. So I don't know if he's being sarcastic there or if he's being authentic. I'm leaning more towards authentic. Anyway, Thomas Amos on this maiden special weight to maiden claiming drop like we're seeing today, 27% winner. I mean, just missed that maiden special weight. It should be his race to win. Number 10. So you and I are in alignment here, August. I also like Star Pose. It is another making that Tom Carley drop from maiden special weight to maiden claiming for trainer D. Wayne Lucas, who he's like the ambassador racing. Like in England, they give you a sir, right? If you accomplish some stuff in your lifetime. Maybe we in horse racing should adopt something like that too and start calling him Sir D. Wayne Lucas. Has some really nice works between races, which were her best workouts by far. Number 7, as I guess you and I are on the same page here, August. Jobs not finished. I look at that August 27th, followed up by the September 2nd work, and then some maintenance works after that. This horse was sharp. It's ready to go. It's going to come out of the barn flying. And then finally, number 6, time for some champagne. So what we'll be hoping for at the end of our hot dog and prime rib pick 4s, Charles. This one has a bullet and go. We talked about the significance of bullets and goes. Again, Barry Meadows' book, The Skeptical Handicapper. But it ran 3 furlongs in 35-3. I don't know about you. You're a trainer. 35-3, that's fast.
That's very fast.
I had the first super. Oh, so the race is already done in race number 1. Fantastic. It's a good way to start. All right. So so if you played the superfecta, you know what you got to do, Charles. What is it?
What's that?
Hit that like button.
Oh, yeah. Hit it. You just hit it. Do it.
Yes. It's not going to
press the little bell off to the side to subscribe and
make sure when we go live, you're notified. Thanks for keeping us up to speed there. All right. Race number 8. We're taking some time here, so we probably should go a little bit faster. Race 8. Charles is 1 1/8 miles, optional claiming for $100,000, purse of $141,000. This one is a 1 1/8 on the main track. And so far, at 1 1/8, they have run. Let me see. I don't think they've run very many. Only 1 race so far. So really insignificant. Not enough data to really make any any determinations. But we can take a look at what the pace setup looks like for race number 8. We do once again find that there are not horses that have gotten to the lead or need the lead or lead dependent to win. A horse race that might not have a lot of pace in there. The 6 horse gets kicked out of this spot, scratched. Looking at the left arrow horse here in the 2, does have a plus late advantage at 6 furlongs, so should be on the lead after 3/4 of a mile as they're coming down the stretch, making that final call. The 1A, the entry here, does have a plus late pace advantage. It's going to be coming like a truck down the hill. 30,000 pounds of bananas in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Harry Chapin's song, Look It Up, has the plus early pace, late pace advantage going to be involved from the beginning and the end. But at the end, Charles, how are they going to line up?
Well, I have to do it one more time at least.
The 2 horse.
So 2 as my top pick. Cox gets 22% of the time, gets a 22% time when they're on 45 plus days off. This horse has tactical speed. He could wait. He could kind of go to the front if he wants. Fits very well with these horses. My second choice is the 3. Joe Sharp gets 15% on the same type of 45 plus days of rest. This horse is a closer, drops in class. Hot jockey for the last 7 days gets on this horse. So, and my third pick is the 5. Drops in class, does better going long, and has tactical speed also. And my final pick is the 1A. And it should do better on dirt. The trainer gets 27% when he goes from turf to dirt. And Santana gets back on this horse, which I believe is a good sign for this horse.
So, yeah, that first race went 6, 7, 5, and 3. The $2 exacta paid $11.20. The trifecta paid $6.75 for 50 cents, $24.37. Kind of weird seeing the sevens and the pennies in there, but we talked a little bit about that at the start of the show. And the superfecta for a dime paid $11.20 to 6.753. So for turning a dime for it's your box 4 horses, I think it's $3.20, turning it into $11.30. I think what Terry likes to say, and like you like to say, is where else can you find a place where you can triple your money in a minute and a half, right?
That's right.
Well-deserved like from me. Thank you, August. We appreciate that. In race number 8, August likes the 2, the 3, the 1, the 1A, and the 7. So kind of in a lot of same thinking that you have. For me, in race number 8, I'm going to start off. This is my box it up. This is where we take 4 horses, put them together in an exacta box, a trifecta box, and a superfecta box. Kind of wish I had done that in race number 1, right? I would have gotten out of the way with a win. I don't know what I'm doing right now, Charles, but I am messing everything up. So forgive me, folks, for not knowing what I'm doing. This a little bit of technical difficulties. Click in the right spot, Richard, and you will get the right result. I think that's the rule of today. So let me just redo this right. 1A. 1A is my first pick in race number 8. I'll get to it in a second why I like it. So let's go ahead and just make the colors right here. Forgive me while I do this on the fly. I have to program this so that wrong box. Isn't that stupid of me, right, Charles? Full color. All right, let's get this right. Little technical difficulties. All right, 1A. Now we got it right. Then I like the 3. Then I like the 2. And then I like the 5. That is my box it up today. And that's, again, where we take 4 horses, put them in a $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta. Kitten and set is flipping from turf to dirt, which is a 27% winning angle for trainer Apollo Lobo. It does have a plus late pace advantage, so it's going to be flying at the end of this race. Also owns a plus advantage when you add together the early pace and late pace, so should be in contention from beginning to end. Ran at Churchill Downs 1 mile, 1 for 1. I think the extra distance actually helps today because that was at a mile. Today is a little bit longer, and it closed in that spot. And we mentioned horse got a lot of late kick. Number 3, Intrepid Heart drops from a $200,000 non-graded stakes race at Churchill Downs 9 times, 2 wins, 3 seconds, and a third. 19 furlongs of workout since August the 28th. So Intrepid Heart should be one that's got a strong heart. Number 2, West Willpower ran the top last race speed figure. Consistently a very high-end performer. 3 of its last 4 races, it hit 100 on the speed gun. Only the 3-horse Intrepid Heart is hit 100 once in its last 10 spots. And then finally, tough call for me between the 5 and the 7. But I think Helium will be very competitive at this level. Won its first 3 races, then tried to go on the Kentucky Derby trail. Kind of failed at that. Has a bunch of seconds and thirds in there mixed in with a couple mixed, bad races at a much higher levels, great 3s. So I think coming back down to this optional claiming race is the recipe for Helium to refine, at least to have a good chance to find its winning ways. And then finally, race number 9, Charles. That is the last race on the card. Race 9, let me push this in there so I can go find this when I'm putting the times in the description. Race 9 at Churchill Downs, the last race of the day, is a mile and a 16th, claiming for $30,000, purse of $56,000. And again, we do have a pace worksheet here. Again, we find so far 17 races, the average odds being between 5 to 1 and 6 to 1, median odds 3 to 1. So some value at these mile and a 16th races. Probably want to stay away from the rail horse, in this case, Actigali. I think that's how you pronounce that. Really looks to me like tactical speed. Horses that sit right off the lead are the place to be, or is the place to be, combining for about 47% of all winners in here. And then the last time we take a look at what the pace worksheet looks like, we don't have any true dependent have to be on the lead types, but these EP, any of these can find their way to the lead over here. The 10 horse is a left arrow horse, maybe competitive in this spot, maybe not competitive in this spot. You have a couple of scratches in here. I think you got the 14, which was also eligible. That was supposed to be in. The 11 horse got scratched out, which was one of my favorites early on, as was the 7. So this really impacted my picks at the end. You do have the top late pace here from a horse that should pressure sit right off the lead in the 5 horse. And then we see here that the 4 does have the top early pace, late pace combination. followed by the 3. So maybe the 4 gets close to, sits in that second or third spot. That's what the square means. Probably going to be close to the front, might be in that ideal position. Who do you think's ideally positioned to win in this race, Charles?
I think it's going to be the 3. It's going to be in the perfect spot.
Do me a favor, Charles. Just punch in all your numbers real quick, and then we're going to go over to your prime rib. To your box it up.
All right, and then the 12, and then the 4, and then finally the 5 is my final pick on that. So the 3 I like a lot on that. Steve gets 20% when going from turf to dirt. Santana rides. They have hit between those two as a trainer jock combo. They're very good. Last time out at Kentucky Downs, you must forgive. The 12 horse drops in class. Maker gets 24% on the when he runs in the claimers. Tries dirt for the first time since May of 2020. But he is a closer and should be picking up the pieces. The 4 has some speed. Amos gets 23% when he puts him in the claimer. And the jockey's been hot for the last 7 days. And then, of course, my final pick is the 5. Trainer gets 23% when he does the claim drop. Has tactical speed, but he's mainly a closer overall. He does every once in a while get up there a little close. But so that's why I chose it as my box, because I believe you're going to get decent odds. Other than the 3, the 3 might go off at 3-1.
That's still good odds for a horse on top, I think.
Yeah, I think the rest will be picking up some double digits in there.
All right, looking for some big payouts from Charles in the box it up to close the show. So we're going to go back-to-back boxes here because I was in race number 8. I like the 4 horse here, Iberville, twice at the distance, has a win and a second, and owns the top combination of early pace and late pace. I like those horses. I go back through my notes. I can't tell you how many times I see in my notes, and all of my notes will be up over at horseracingtoday.net when we're done. We'll recap the show. Make sure you head on over there if you want to see the notes. I'll also include a link to those post position and bias charts so you can keep an eye on that. Maybe help you break a tie between a couple of horses that you like. So that'll be over at horseracingtoday.net. Number 3, Ice Blast is my second choice there. This one has, if you look at the speed numbers and its performance, this horse is all over the place. Has a really high ceiling, has a really low floor. At the high ceiling, horse runs away with this race. At the low floor, could finish in last place. So be careful with that guy. Number 13, Tonal Impact, staying in the claiming ranks, following a claiming win for trainer Chris Hartman. When he goes back-to-back claiming off of a win, he collects the big check again at 24%. And then finally, number 8 horse. This one describes my golf game to a T in the practice course when he's training. Bullet, 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 bullet. Looks like a PGA Tour professional. But when he gets down on the course, looks like he's never played the game before. One of these days, the 8 horse is going to take that training at the track to the track and come away with a big win. August likes the 13, the 9, the 5, and the 3. So we agree on the 13 and the 3. And you have the 5 in there in your box it up. Again, race 1 is in the books. So we did I hit the superfecta, but I think Charles also had the exacta there too. The 5 horse kind of screwed you up in the middle. You can see our long shot today for me is in race number 8. Charles' long shot in race number 5. We have my best bet is in race number 5 with the 4. So we have the battle of the best bet in long shot. Again, last time we had that. We finished 1-2 for the exacta. Charles' best bet in race number 6. So 3 consecutive races, long shot, or best bet, and best bet. So maybe a pick 3 candidate right in there. Our hot dog pick 4 is coming up in our prime rib coming up in race number 2. This is where we have a little bit bigger budget. Charles and I both decided to go $96. So some variation of 4x4x4x3. Our hot dog pick 4s, which we didn't get to, which is the last 4 races. Charles is going to single up that 5 in race number 6 and then go 4x2x4. I don't have a single in here. I'm going to go 3x3 I can't go 3x3x3x2. That's against the rules, Richard. I think this is the one I didn't want in there. So I'm going to go 3x2x3x2. So I'm accordion on mine. Hopefully we get that correct in there, Charles, because like I said at the top of the show, there's pressure on you. As Terry and I have hit a pick 4 to open the first couple days of the week, so we cannot not get it. And then our box it ups again for one last view, race number 8 and 9. $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box. Again, all of which will be recapped over at horseracingtoday.net. And while you're there, another way you can support the show. I don't know, Charles, have you been watching the football bets that we do?
I've caught 2 shows.
Yeah, right. Well, we've done 3 so far. Yeah, so we've done pretty well. So far, I'm turning a profit, but I went out and created some Horse Racing Today NFL. Well, not NFL. I can't say NFL. Football gear. I like this hat. You got a little football in there with the Horse Racing Today logo. While you're on Horse Racing Today, you'll see a link that says Horse HRT gear. Please click on that. Or you can get a nice Horse Racing Today shirt like I have on, or a hat. Support the show that way. Another way you can support the show and get some free picks is head on over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Again, there is a link for the Guaranteed Tip Sheet in the description. Please use that so they know where you're coming from. They're on horseracingtoday.net as well as Facebook. Today at Delaware Park, they do have a stakes race in race number, the second to last race of the day. So head on over there. I know our friend, I make Delaware Park the race of the day on Wednesdays because our friends from Turkey absolutely love Delaware Park, Turkey, the country, on Wednesdays. All right, Charles, I think that wraps it up after an hour and 6 minutes, kind of a little on the long end. Any final thoughts before we get up and out of here?
No, everybody in Florida, please stay safe.
Mm-hmm. So on my 3 thoughts for the day to end the show, just number 1, no matter what your goals are, try to be a little bit better today than you were yesterday, just a little bit. Incremental step forward. Before you know it, you'll get there, right? So if each day you're just a little bit better than yesterday. Number 2, we talked about a horse today. It was named Be Kind. So be kind today. That's a good thing to do. And then finally, race, the last thing of all the things. Thank you. We appreciate that, August. If you agree with August, please hit the like button at Facebook.
Thank you.
Hit the thumbs up on YouTube. We'd appreciate that. But no matter what you do today, Charles, we hope it only ends up in one place, and that place can only be
the winner's circle.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us. Everybody have a fantastic hump day.
That's it.